Hi, this is Lisa Tedder with Tedder Bear Stamping, and today I'm going to do a continuation of my last week's card, which was the box card. And I left you last week saying I was going to do something a little bit more exciting with this box card. So I tried to do something in my head and it didn't work, but I did come up with something that was pretty cool. So I came up with a Christmas card, and yes, I know that it is March. But it was so pretty I couldn't not make it. So will sit up straight on anybody's desk when you give it to them, and it's very dimensional. But the great thing is that I learned how to make snow onto our trees, or if you want to do it on the ground, in a fast and easy way. And it's still, if you can tell, dimensional. So you can tell it's puffy right in there. So I wanted to show you how to do that and give you a couple other tips and tricks. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to come in with a stamp from the Santa Sleigh stamp set, and it's the one with the trees. I'm going to show you how to make a rock and roll thing for the stamp so that you get two colors on one stamp. And it also makes the tree look a little bit more realistic. Now this has been around a long time, so you've probably already heard of it, but those of you that haven't, I'm going to show you again, or show you the first time, and those that you've seen it already can just fast forward or something. Okay, so here you're going to do it into the Old Olive, which is the lighter of the two inks, because I did Old Olive and Always Artichoke. You're going to get the whole stamp inky with the lighter color. Then you're going to come over to the darker color and just kind of rock it around so you're not getting the whole thing, and then just barely touch it, and then you're going to come over to your paper and stamp it. Make sure this works. Okay, so if you can tell, let me get it closer, as you get two different distinct colors, which is more realistic for a tree. So first off, I'm going to show you how to do blending with our blender pens, and I found out that people were right, that you should start with the lighter color and do the whole base first, and then come back and do the highlighting with your darker color. I'm going to go ahead and bring you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. Just hopefully I will, whoops, this way. Remember to pull you back out. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and just fill in your base with the lighter. Okay, so now I've got the base down. You're going to come in with your darker blend and just fill in where you think that the highlights would be, or the darker edges would be. And I'm assuming at the bottom of the tree it would be darker. And I'm only going to do a few, a couple at a time. And then you come back over it with your marker and just keep filling it in until it blends, which kind of seems redundant, doesn't it? But using the blends to blend. But it does work, and I've always been doing it the opposite way, and I thought that maybe you have too, and that this might help you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I will be right, I'll fast forward it, and I'll be right back. Now, I think that looks a lot more realistic than the way I was doing it before. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it out with my Big Shot, and let me back you up some. Okay. Now I use the, most of the time I use this pad because it makes it easier and I only have to use one plate. I do like my magnetic, but it uses my plate so much that I just figured that I can kind of make it to where it's not going to move and it'll be okay. Okay, so don't you think that that looks a lot more realistic with the dark and the light? Alright, so let me show you, get in close again, because this one is what I was excited about. Oh, that's really close. Let's see if I can get you in the middle. See, it's backwards to what I'm looking at. So, alright, so you're going to come in with your 2A, or not 2A, your fine tip glue pen. And you're going to do it at the top of each of the branches because you don't want to cover what you've just highlighted, but you want, the snow would usually sit at the top of the branches, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so here comes the fun part that I was like, I wonder if this will work. And it did. You're going to carefully bring in your tree that you've just put all that glue on. It's still wet. You just finished. And you're just going to run the white embossing powder over it. And you're not going to heat set it yet. We're going to put it aside to dry for about 10 minutes. And here's one that I did a while, whoa, let's see, So I'm going to go ahead and heat set it so you can see what happens. Okay, so it becomes white and shiny and it's hard because it's already dried, but the embossing powder still will work when you go to heat set it. Now to get it to have the sparkle, I went ahead and used a 2A glue pen or another glue pen, and I just did a little bit on the tips just to make, because I want it to sparkle too. And I'm going to put some dazzling diamonds on it. But now it's nice and hard and it's still dimensional, so that's what's going to make it really pretty. See? Ah, sorry, I'm having troubles figuring out which way you are. So you see it's really nice and sparkly and it's still dimensional. So you can see the dimension, which is really cool. So let me show you the card. I just wanted to go over a couple things. When you are making this, there we go. When you're making this, when you have dazzling, or the glimmer paper behind, and I still wanted it to be dimensionalized, it won't stand up with dimensionals, so they won't stick on there. So I used dimensionals, but then I put glue dots on the back of the dimensionals, and that made it stay. And you would want to do your silver thing for here, and then maybe back it with thick whisper white or something so that it would be more sturdy, because I had a couple people looking at it and then they closed it and they got it jammed in there. So it was gorgeous and in perfect condition before I showed it around because I was so excited. But it's still really pretty. I just need to have you understand that that would be better if you put something a little bit heavier behind it. But the snow is very realistic and it is very dimensionalized, and I hope you enjoyed this video and are as excited as I am to go make your own snow. Subscribe to my site so you can see what I do next week. Thank you.